Good afternoon. I'm pleased to welcome Max Homa back to the interview room. Max, thanks so much for joining us. It's your career low round at Augusta National, round one of a 67, and in very tough conditions today, you're the leader in the clubhouse. Congratulations. We'd love to hear a little bit about, if you wouldn't mind talking us through your first two rounds.
Yeah, thank you. Obviously been quite difficult out there. I struck the ball really well. I've really done everything quite well on the golf course, but most proud of what's gone on with our course management and just controlling thoughts and expectation and all that. So it's been fun, and I feel like these conditions have helped almost lean into the patience and all the things you hear, the cliches. So I feel like I've done a great job of that, and then hit some really good golf shots alongside that. So it's been quite fun. I am very glad to be inside, I will say.
We're going to open it up to some questions, and we'll start with Brody Miller.
Actually, you've talked before about maybe trying to do too much the first 2 days of a major and whatnot, and you mentioned the patience. Yeah, how much of today's success was leaning into that? And are there any holes or examples that come to mind to show that?
Yeah, I mean, I would give most of that to those thoughts, just of not needing to be better than I am. I wrote something in my journal yesterday that just said, however good I am is how good I am. I don't need to try to be better than I am. And I can just see wherever that takes me. Maybe it's winning this, maybe it's not. And I'm okay with that. I know what I've put into this game, trying to get every ounce back doesn't really work, and I've tried that part. So I just feel like so much of it has just been from just making golf swings that feel good to me. They aren't always the right one, I would say, for what maybe a commentator would look at, but picking the right ones. I mean, I'm not sure which hole would lean in most to that, but there were just moments of trusting myself, like on 4 today and hitting the 7-wood instead of just taking the 4-iron in the bunker. Joe wanted me to hit the 7-wood and just take it on, but he said if you feel better just hitting it in the bunker, we can do that too. So I guess that's just backing myself a bit, but then other times of playing just the low driver I've hit around here in the wind instead of trying to hit the high, cool one at times when the wind was off the left, because it just doesn't fit me. So just being really patient with that and discipline, I feel like is, I guess, a testament to those kind of the mental goals I've set for myself.
Chris?
Max, not to take the attention off you, but just what was it like watching Tiger gut it out, being alongside it?
It was awesome, man. It was just a dream to get to play with him here. I've been saying I've always wanted to just watch him at iron shots around here, and I was just right up next to him. It was really cool. His short game was just so good. I just don't think I can explain how good some of the chip shots he hit today were, and he's just special. I mean, we had a really quick turnaround, and if I was feeling tired and awful, I imagine he was feeling even worse. But he just is like he understands his golf course so well, but he just hits such amazing golf shots. His iron play is so good that even when they did miss the green, you could just tell it had so much control. And just watching him on 18, we got sandblasted for like 45 seconds, and I turned around 5 times so I didn't get crushed in the face, and I just looked back and he's just standing there like a statue, and then poured it right in the middle. So all the cliches you hear about him and all the old stories about how he will grind it out it's fun to see that in person.
Cameron?
Max, there was a point, I think it was on 3, where it looked like you almost hit yourself with your own driver. Did you hit yourself in the head with that shot? And I'm assuming that was maybe your worst swing of the day? You
didn't mention that I caught it, so just write that one down. Yeah, it was a terrible swing, bad focus, and every once in a while I let go of the club. I didn't intend to, but I thought I looked about as bad as I probably could, but I was glad the club didn't touch the ground, so that felt quite nice. I probably made some worse swings. That was definitely one of the few drivers, though, that has not come out the middle, which is nice to say. But I got away with it, stayed in that right rough, and moved along.
And then your game plan for this week, Did it change? Because obviously you haven't, you know as well as anybody, you haven't had a lot of success here, but did you change something in that game plan?
No, not really. I think I'm just a bit more aware of when you're out of position, get back in position. Doesn't have to be the green, doesn't have to be really anywhere near the green. Just make sure you're, especially in these conditions, chipping into the wind best you can. So I feel like when I have been out of position, I've done a great job of getting back into it. I've made some really good putts to make that look even better. But yeah, just in general, just kind of taking what I get, what the golf course gives me.
James?
Max, you seem to have a good amount of intensity when you're kind of inside the ropes. I'm wondering, how challenging was it to block out the crowds and to manage them?
I would argue they block me and Jason out, so it's actually quite easy. I imagine if I had, at one point I think we were leading, and I imagine I would have felt more pressure in a way had I not been playing with Tiger. So I actually think that was a good thing. It may seem intense, I guess. I'm just very internal and quiet, so I'm just observing. So it was quite fun today and yesterday to just observe the crowd and how they react to Tiger and what he does. So it was just, yeah, it was fun. It was, like I said, I don't actually find it too difficult. He's really easy to play with, and the crowd doesn't know you're there, which is pretty awesome.
Why would it have been harder?
Because I think when you would hear every single hole here, for the most part, you get a round of applause when you walk back to the tee. It's really cool. It gets bigger when you're playing better. The shouts get louder when you're playing well. And when you play with Tiger, they're all for Tiger. I know that it's part of this tongue-in-cheek. I mean, they say my name. I understand that people are supporting me, but you can, when you walk up to the 12th tee, it's one of the coolest walks there is. Everyone cheers, but you know that they're waiting for him. So I think it's easy just to stay in your own world and not get on your high horse at all. So I think it kind of keeps you within yourself.
Ryan?
Max, just curious when you started journaling and why has that been a therapeutic exercise for you?
I've been doing it on and off for a bit. I've been doing it a bit more religiously sometime last year. I think it's good. I think it's good sometimes. I always write things I'm grateful for in there to start. So I think it's just something that keeps you kind of grounded. And I think, I put mental goals in for the day, whether if I'm at a tournament, obviously golf mental goals for that specific day. Other times I'm going to practice, maybe just things to be aware of, right? Little, sayings here and there. But I just think it's one thing to think it. When you write it down, I feel like it becomes a bit more tangible. So I've just been trying to be a bit more strict with myself on that.
Steve?
Max, I'm not sure if you've looked around much at the leaderboard, but there's a lot of guys on that list that haven't won a major, including yourself. Are you surprised at that?
I did not notice that, sorry. I saw Bryson and Scotty, and they've won, and they're quite good, so.
But there's a lot of guys a little bit further down that...
Yeah, no, I just know I haven't, and I would like to. So that's kind of where I've been at for the last couple days.
In the far back?
Max, you've had all of a half an hour to think about this. Being in this position at 36 holes in a major, different than being in this position at a regular tour event?
Yeah, we don't do this at a regular tour event. Yeah, I mean, it'll probably feel different, but I'm very fortunate. I have a wife that does not let me gloat. And I have friends back at the house that will just want to hear about what Tiger did today. So I'm surrounded by some awesome people. I will appreciate this opportunity, all these cool things I've gotten to do. I just got to go to Butler Cabin. It's pretty awesome. And then I will hang out with my son Cam, probably change a diaper or two, and wake up tomorrow and just get back to work. So yeah, it'll be different tomorrow than a tour event, but I don't know if you guys have seen Hoosiers, but the hole's same size. There's 18 of them, and I'm just going to try to do my best.
In the far back?
Nice playing today, Max. I'm guessing all of it was a lot of fun, but if you had to pick one moment that maybe a year from now you'll look back on this round and always remember.
Oh, man. That's such a hard question. One moment. The sentimental answer is the walk up to 12T. Tiger was last to walk up, made a good par putt, and walked up, and that was cool. For myself personally, the par on 5 was just, I feel like that's the stuff you see people who are around the lead do. They lay it up, they don't bat an eye, they hit a great wedge shot, and they make a great putt. So that was just a nice moment for myself. But yeah, I would just say that the memory from today, the memories will just be a lot of the Tiger stuff. I hope to build my own come this weekend, but I fortunately think I've done a good enough job of playing it one shot at a time that I can't really remember a ton of the round at the moment. I can tell you all of his somehow and Jason's, but I'm kind of blanking on my own. But yeah, I played really well, and I tried to play as boring as possible. And I think I'll take, the awareness I have of what I've been doing with me a while. But I think just the view of this beautiful golf course with the sea of fans, it'll be seared in my brain for a while.
Jeff?
Max, Scotty woke up on Sunday a couple years ago in the morning and wondered if the moment was going to be too big for him. It seems like this place, like few others, really lets you learn a lot about yourself. What do you want to learn about yourself this weekend?
That's a great question. I think regardless of outcome, I'd like to maintain this outlook I have on how I'm playing golf. Good shot, bad shot, doesn't really matter. Did I go through my process? Did I commit to my shot? And once it takes off, I might as well close my eyes. So I would like to see if I can continue to do that this weekend. I think that's something I would like to take with me going forward. And yeah, I mean, just having a bit of moxie, I guess. I feel like I showed it the last couple of days, especially yesterday, the first few holes, playing with Tiger in front of a lot of people at the Masters, and played some great golf. So I know I have that one in me. I'd like to see if I have the mental discipline for a whole week. I'm gonna hope for that one.
Gary?
Max, if somebody from TV came and said, pick out one shot you had today to put on SportsCenter, maybe excluding the par on 5, is there one that stands out, and why were you so happy with it?
I mean, I hit a 7-wood on 4 today. That was pretty awesome. So, yeah, that hole is impossible today, and somehow we made it 2. I like that one. Yeah, I think that was definitely the highlight of the day. Fortunately, wasn't out of position too much, so was able to just hit probably what looked like a lot of just okay shots. But just a lot of those iron shots into those greens. I feel like I really controlled the golf ball awesome today. And yeah, it was even like, I love shots like the one on 16. Just landed it just where I needed to. Got it, just carved it exactly how I wanted to. So maybe those things are more of something I would enjoy. But I think everyone can, if it was on SportsCenter, would appreciate 240 yards in the wind and a shot that went to 35 feet.
Question there?
What might you write in your journal tomorrow, Max? For tomorrow?
What might I?
Yeah.
Probably pretty similar stuff. About 5 or 6 things I'm grateful for, usually people. Sometimes opportunity, so I'll probably be quite grateful to get to play a Saturday at the Masters. Yeah, and probably just write down about what I learned from today and what I'm going to take with me. And a lot of it is just going to be back to that detachment from the result. Just do the best I can. And that might be great and it might not be, but I'm just going to be okay with that.
Steve?
Oh, that was my question. Thanks.
That was your question. All right, Will?
Max, given the wind you guys have been dealing with the past couple of days, was there a sigh of relief to finish today as high on the leaderboard as you did?
Yeah, I think the wind picked up like 3 miles an hour from my side. That was about as happy as you could be to be off of a golf course. That was so hard, and we got the sand shower to end our day, so it was kind of even the golf course was saying, get the hell out of here. So yeah, it was nice. It was hard, man, and it just, the more we had to play extra holes, so just being out in the wind for that long just got old. Even here, even at a place as amazing as this, you still, I was picturing my couch and a TV, and just wanted to be done. Just be inside. That's all we were rooting for.
I think we have time for 2 more questions. So there we go.
Max, you would have been 6, I think, at the 1997 Masters. Do you remember it? And if not, what's your first Tiger memory?
Yeah, I very vividly actually remember the 18th hole. For whatever reason, the red sweater sticks out, and the driveway left. Everybody jumping, trying to see, or Tiger jumping. I think he was playing with Konstantin Aroka. He's waving at him where the green is. And yeah, I don't know, that sticks out. But that's a pretty cool that's probably my first golf watching memory, which is a pretty good one when you think about the timing of how amazing that event was. So yeah, every time I look back or see highlights from that event, I mean, it's funny how 6 years old, you're probably just starting to develop those memories, and that's an awesome one to start with.
Ben?
Hey, how much does the wind really play a role in how you putt? Because it seemed like being out there today, it was a little bit more of a cautious take when putting. So, can you go through your mindset of when it's this windy, how you should putt here especially?
Yeah, I think you're definitely more cautious. You are aware of which direction it is. If it's downwind, it's going to be fast. Doesn't matter if it's uphill. If it's into the wind and up, you're obviously going to have to smash it. But into the wind and downhill is the tricky one. I think that's, to me, when I got the most cautious. And then, you read it, and then you kind of just guess. But it's actually for what I'm working on, it's actually quite nice because you hit it. And, mine on 18, I hit a great putt, and I missed it 6 inches to the left, and there's nothing I'm going to sit here and poo-poo about myself. Just the wind is whipping. So I think it actually kind of helps in a weird way. But it's demanding and difficult. But, another thing you just kind of, at least I thought to myself today, is this is hard for absolutely everybody. I don't care if you're Denny McCarthy, the greatest putter I've ever seen in my life. I'm sure it was very hard to putt today. So it kind of gives you a bit of, I guess, relief in that manner.
Max, thank you so much, and
Thank you,
best
guys.
of luck.
Have a great day.
Rest of the tournament.